Thank the many wonderful artists who paid tribute to me by singing along with Pretty Little Baby. First of all, there was Kylie Jenner, Timothy Chalamet, Kim Kardashian, North Kardashian, Kris Jenner, Agnetha from ABBA. Incidentally, it's mutual. I'm a huge fan of yours too, Agnetha. Ariana Grande, Taylor Swift, Gracie Large, who plays me on the hit Broadway show, Just in Time. Shaq O'Neal, that was very, very fun, and Jimmy Fallon. And Billie Eilish. I hope I didn't leave anybody out, but I want to thank them all for honoring me. And I want to thank the millions of people who sang along with me on Pretty Little Baby.
Please do not forget subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell to be notified when we upload next. Connie Francis, the legendary singer whose timeless hits such as Who's Sorry Now and Pretty Little Baby defined an era, has passed away at the age of 87. Her death, confirmed on Thursday, July 17th, comes just 2 weeks after reports surfaced that she had been hospitalized due to extreme pain. Ron Roberts, a close friend and the president of Francis label Conchetta Records, shared the somber news on Facebook. It is with a heavy heart and extreme sadness that I inform you of the passing of my dear friend Connie Francis last night. I know that Connie would approve that her fans are among the first to learn of this sad news. More details will follow later. The announcement was also posted on Francis' official Facebook profile, marking the end of a remarkable life filled with musical triumphs and personal trials. The news of her passing follows a recent update from Francis herself. On July 2nd, she revealed to her fans via Facebook that she was back in hospital undergoing tests to determine the cause of her severe pain. 2 days later, in a 4th of July post, she offered a glimmer of hope, stating she was feeling much better after a good night. Tragically, her health declined in the weeks that followed, leading to her death. Francis' passing coincides with a resurgence of interest in her music, as her 1962 B-side Pretty Little Baby became a viral sensation on TikTok, captivating a new generation 63 years after its release. Born Conchetta Rosa Maria Franco-Nero on December 12, 1937, in Newark, New Jersey, Francis was the daughter of Italian immigrants George and Ida Franco-Nero. Her father, a roofing contractor with a passion for music, recognized her talent early and encouraged her to perform. Just 4 years old, Francis began singing and playing the accordion in talent contests and pageants, quickly earning local acclaim. By her teenage years, she was appearing on television, including a stint as a featured performer on NBC's Startime Kids. It was during this time that she adopted the stage name Connie Francis, a decision that would herald the beginning of an extraordinary career. In 1955, at the age of 18, Francis signed with MGM Records, but her early singles, Freddie, Didn't I Love You Enough?, failed to chart. Facing the prospect of being dropped by the label, she was persuaded by her father to record Who's Sorry Now?, a song written in 1923 as a final effort. Francis was skeptical, later recalling in a 1996 UPI interview, "I had 18 bomb records. He wanted me to record a song written in 1923. I said, forget about it, the kids on American Bandstand would laugh me right off the show." He said, "If you don't record this song, dummy, the only way you'll get on American Bandstand is to sit on the TV." Despite her doubts, she recorded the track in 1957. Initially, it floundered, until Dick Clark played it on American Bandstand in January 1958. The song's appearance on the show transformed Francis' fortunes overnight. Who's Sorry Now climbed to number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100 and hit number 1 in the UK, launching her into stardom and forging a lifelong friendship with Clark. A contemporary of Elvis Presley and Brenda Lee, Francis became one of the most beloved voices of the 1950s and early 1960s, with a string of top 10 hits that showcased her versatility and emotional depth. Following the breakthrough success of Who's Sorry Now?, Francis released a series of chart-topping singles, including My Happiness, Lipstick on Your Collar, and Among My Souvenirs. Her 1959 album, Connie Francis Sings Italian Favorites, became her most successful, resonating deeply with Italian-American audiences and highlighting her ability to blend pop with her cultural heritage. In 1960, she made history with Everybody's Somebody's Fool, which reached #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, the first time a solo female artist achieved this feat since the chart's inception in 1958. Francis' international appeal soared as she re-recorded her hits in languages such as German, Italian, Spanish, and Japanese, connecting with fans worldwide. She followed Everybody's Somebody's Fool with 2 more #1 hits, My Heart Has a Mind of Its Own in 1960 and Don't Break the Heart That Loves You in 1962. Reflecting on her early success in a 1992 People interview, she said, "I was sitting on top of the world and didn't know what problems were yet." Her career expanded into film, with notable roles in the 1960 teen rom-com Where the Boys Are alongside George Hamilton and other movies like Follow the Boys. Her achievements earned her accolades, including Best Female Vocalist titles from Cashbox 1960 and Billboard 1961, a 1959 Grammy nomination for Who's Sorry Now, and a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 1961. Later, she was inducted into the Hit Parade Hall of Fame 2007, and the Italian American Hall of Fame 2012. Collaborating with icons like Frank Sinatra and producers like Mitch Miller, Francis solidified her place as a trailblazer who paved the way for future female artists in the rock and roll era. Despite her professional triumphs, Francis' life was marred by profound personal tragedies. In 1974, she was brutally raped in a Long Island motel room, an ordeal that left her grappling with trauma and fear. 3 years later, in 1977, a botched nasal surgery to correct a deviated septum temporarily robbed her of her voice, threatening the career she had built. The murder of her brother, George Franconero Jr., by the Mafia in 1981 dealt another devastating blow, deepening her emotional scars. These events triggered severe mental health struggles. In the 1980s, Francis was involuntarily committed to psychiatric hospitals 17 times across 9 years in 5 states, often at her father's behest. Misdiagnosed with conditions like bipolar disorder, ADD, and ADHD, she endured a suicide attempt in 1984 before receiving a correct diagnosis of post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. "I was misdiagnosed as bipolar, ADD, ADHD, and a few other letters the scientific community had never heard of," she told The Village Voice in 2011. "A few years later, I was discovered to have had post-traumatic stress disorder following a horrendous string of events in my life." Yet Francis refused to be defined by her hardships. She staged a career comeback in 1981, though her mental health challenges persisted. Turning pain into purpose, she partnered with Ronald Reagan's administration on a violent crime task force and became an advocate for rape victims. In 2010, she collaborated with Mental Health America to raise awareness about trauma and treatment options. "I tried to see humor in everything, even when I was in a mental institution," she told The Oklahoman in 2018. "But I have to say the support of the public has also been incredibly uplifting. They saw me through the best and worst of times and never stopped writing from around the world to encourage me." Francis' personal life was as turbulent as her career was illustrious. Early in her rise, she fell in love with singer Bobby Darin, but her father's disapproval kept them apart. Darin's death in 1973 at age 37 left a lasting void. She later called him the love of her life. "My personal life is a regret from A to Z," she told People in 1984. "I realized I had allowed my father to exert too much influence over me." She married 4 times, each union brief and turbulent. Her first marriage to Dick Ken Ellis in 1964 lasted 5 months. In 1971, she wed Izzy Marion, divorcing after 10 months. Her third marriage to Joseph Garzilli in 1973 brought her only child, Joseph Garzilli Jr., adopted in 1974 but ended in 1977. A fourth marriage to Bob Parkinson in 1985 also dissolved quickly. Despite these challenges, motherhood remained a source of joy, and she cherished her son. Francis documented her journey in 2 memoirs, Who's Sorry Now? 1984, and Among My Souvenirs, 2017, offering candid reflections on her highs and lows. In 2017, she told People, "I want to be remembered not so much for the heights I have reached, but for the depths from which I have come. I hope I did okay." Connie Francis' death marks the end of an era, but her legacy endures. As a pioneer who broke barriers for women in music, her influence is felt in the careers of countless artists who followed. Her advocacy for rape victims and mental health awareness amplified her impact beyond the stage, fostering compassion and understanding. Her music, timeless and evocative, continues to resonate. The TikTok revival of Pretty Little Baby underscores her ability to bridge generations, proving her artistry's enduring power. Survived by her son, Joseph Garzilli Jr., and a global legion of fans, Francis leaves behind a legacy of resilience, talent, and humanity, a voice that will echo for years to come. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to daily updates and never miss a video.